To many of us, scars are often perceived as proof of a stupid mistake, a mischief, or an accident. But to be honest, there is always a story behind a scar, and there is no shame in wearing them publicly, bravely, and telling the stories behind them. And that's another thing that I have learned and admire about our lovely celebrities, who wear their scars like a badge of honor and share their stories openly. So today's video is full of these celebrities, their scars, and the stories behind them. Without any further delay, let's begin. Number 10. Ed Sheeran. According to Ed Sheeran's manager Stuart Camp, Sheeran's cheek scar came as a result of a slight mistake by Princess Beatrice. He claimed that James Blunt, Ed Sheeran's friend, once asked Princess Beatrice to make him a knight just for fun. Beatrice, being a kind princess as she already is, had a fancy royal sword in her hand, which she waved to perform the ritual, again just for fun. But perhaps she didn't realize the actual weight of the sword. And as she waved the sword, she accidentally hit Sheeran's face, hence the result. But there's a twist to this story. Later on in an interview, James Blunt denied this whole story, and according to him, Ed Sheeran was drunk, and he just cut himself. Before we move on, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Number 9. Jason Momoa. The left eyebrow of the great Khal Drogo of Games of Thrones, aka Jason Momoa, is not shaved intentionally, but rather kind of a permanent scar. And here is the story behind it. He reportedly received this scar in 2008 when a man attacked him in a bar while he was at a pub in Hollywood. The man attacked him with a broken pint glass, but fortunately wasn't able to hurt him badly, except for that scar, of course. An estimated 140 stitches were required for the actor's reconstructive surgery. His attacker is also reported to suffer hand injuries, around 15 stitches, and a 5-year prison term. Number 8. Tina Fey. The writer, the producer, and the amazing 30 Rock actress, Tina Fey was slashed on her face by some unidentified stranger who managed to enter the front yard of the house when she was just 5 years old. The scar can be seen stretching from just below her cheekbone to beneath her lower lip. Apparently, she tries to conceal the scar with cosmetics so that it is less obvious, not because she is embarrassed or something, but because of the way some of the people behaved. In her own book, Bossy Pants, she wrote more about this incident, saying that it seemed like the grossest move when people say they are curious about the scar because it looks beautiful. Number 7. J.R. Martinez. A television star, motivational speaker, and author, Martinez was serving an army in Iraq in 2003. The left front tire of the Humvee he was operating collided with an IED and boom. He suffered serious burns to more than 34% of his body. Martinez was transported to the German air station of Ramstein for emergency care. Later, Martinez spent 34 months at the Brooke Army Medical Center in Texas, where he had 33 skin grafting and plastic surgery procedures. Since his recovery, he has traveled the U.S. giving talks about his experiences to businesses, veteran organizations, schools, and other institutions. Such an inspiring story. Number 6. Harrison Ford. When he relocated to Los Angeles in 1964 to pursue a career in Hollywood, Harrison Ford, aka Indiana Jones, sustained a scar on his chin. One morning, while he was making his way to work at Bullock's department store, he realized that he had forgotten to fasten his seatbelt. While Ford was groping around for it, he went off the road and struck a telephone pole. Ford was thrown through the windscreen by the impact, which was so severe that he hit his chin on the steering wheel. Number 5. Jonah Hill. The 22 Jump Street and the Wolf of Wall Street actor, Jonah Hill's right arm has a significant scarring area close to his elbow. He told during an interview that he had been a troublemaker growing up, and that one night when he was 15 years old, he was riding in a car with his friends. His friend started jokingly spinning the wheel while he had his arm out the window. His arm dragged on the ground when the car toppled over. When he saw his parents, who were quite upset though, he made the decision that he would never again do anything that childish to make them upset ever again. Number 4. Michael K. Williams. On his 25th birthday, actor Michael K. Williams reportedly got involved in a bar fight on New York City's Jamaica Avenue, where he received his iconic scar. Apparently, he got drunk, got into a fight with some men in a pub, and they used a razor to cut him from the top of his head to the base of his neck. He nearly passed away, but thank goodness we still have him. William's scar, which has now become one of his signatures, has also kind of helped him grab many offers to play a thug in music videos, and has possibly given him various modeling opportunities, especially with well-known photographers like David LaChapelle. Number 3. Joaquin Phoenix. Our favorite heroic villain Joker, Joaquin Phoenix, was born with what appears to be a form of scar between his nose and lips. The mildest type of cleft lip is actually a microform cleft. It usually looks like a scar or a notch. Birth defects like cleft lips can appear before the 10-week point in a pregnancy. Each year, around 6,800 infants in the United States are born with a cleft lip or cleft palate. Milder cases of cleft lip, like the one Phoenix has, appear later in the labial development when the process is almost complete. Number 2. Tommy Flanagan. Tommy is sometimes referred to as the actor with the Glasgow smile. You can tell the scars are on him just by looking at him. Although many people still don't know what caused the scars, they appear to be his signature appearance. As a matter of fact, Tommy's scars are the result of an accident. The legend goes that one day after he finished his shift as a DJ at a nightclub, he was ambushed by a group of robbers as he made his way home. Tommy fought the criminals when they tried to rob him, but he undoubtedly lost the battle since there were too many of them for him to handle. He was stabbed many times, and one of the robbers possibly had him a knife thrust across his face from one ear to the other. Tommy was rushed to the hospital for treatment after the tragedy, but even after he recovered, the scars on his face would remain with him for the rest of his life. But these scars have undoubtedly become his most iconic feature. Number 1. Sylvester Stallone. Over the years, several comedians may have cashed heavy checks by mimicking Sylvester Stallone's characteristic lip droop and heavy baritone voice. But perhaps very few people know that these facial features are actually a result of a possible mishandling during his birth. On July 6, 1946, in Manhattan, the doctors reportedly used a pair of forceps to deliver Stallone. Due to a damaged nerve, a slight malpractice left one of his lips, chin, and a portion of his tongue partially paralyzed. Stallone once said during an interview that due to these features, many people started calling him Sylvia, mostly in an offensive way. Suffering from poor self-esteem, he turned to bodybuilding and eventually to acting, proving the critics wrong, and making his way to excellence all by himself. And by the way, since he prefers doing all of his stunts himself, there is hardly a part of his body that does not have any scars. That's how our Rocky is. Thank you for watching and subscribing to the channel. See you in the next video.